come on. When politicians not in the house, you know, them in a one another house, a drink liquor and a ha ha ha. Yes, and I play all Vibes Cartel too. Yeah, man. I see you know. All you hear them a go on this and a go on that. Them have them little party, them put on Vibes Cartel. Some of them know the words. Some of them know the words of Vibes Cartel music, you know, but oh gosh, man, them have a grand ball and fun. And then next day, them go back to them madness of trying to say how much them can scrape out of the people them pocket. I see two men walk towards me with machete. And one of them said, Dread, you can't walk along the side of bridge, you have to turn back. Me say, okay, me just turn back. Turn back. You see when we walk along the Barnett Street, them hear a man a ball, you know. A man a ball. Barnett Street, jailhouse there is really a terrible place, you know. Me have my personal experience about that place. Yes, me get locked up in there already with some youth. And it's the weirdest thing. They might want something in there where one man can't lay down on it, you know. And apparently, a youth come in there and never know the protocol and them go lie down on it. And you know, so them have the field bucket right beside. Why I tell you, them have the field bucket right beside which part you lay down, you know. And the youth go lay down on it and never know, say another man rent it out already. And the man take up the bucket, about 7 hours in the cell, you know. About 7 hours in the cell. First time I got jail in a Montego Bay. The man take up the bucket, you know. And dose the youth with it, you know. You want to see the filter fly all over the place, you know. A hose. Them take and wash out the cell. I tell you, every time I remember that something there, you know, Rasta, me beg still, I can't do nothing about it, you know, but it linger in my head for years. It linger in my head, you know. That means I sell with some man and the man take out the bucket and dose the brother with it. And all the policemen them could have do is just come in there. Them never come in there, them turn the hose in the place and wet up the whole away. Terrible thing. That place, that is where Buster Man did come and say, if Barnett Street can't hold the Rasta them, well, Bogill have to go hold them. And you know, Bogill is our cemetery. It's a terrible thing. Terrible thing.
The Portland police are probing the murder of a businessman at his home in land settlement in Chovy this morning. Dead is Albert Lindsay, otherwise called Bugsy. Lindsay was the operator of the Anna Banana restaurant on Folly Road in Port Antonio. Reports are that at about 8:40 a.m., men traveling on a motorcycle went to Lindsay's house and opened gunfire, hitting him multiple times. He was taken to hospital where he was pronounced dead. This incident pushes the number of people murdered in Portland since the start of the year to 5. A 48-hour curfew has been imposed in sections of Marcintown St. Mary. It began at 6 last evening and will remain in effect until 6 p.m. tomorrow. The boundaries cover the Coleraine Roadway, Heaven Gate Gospel Chapel, Airy Hill Main Road, and the entrance of Marcintown. During the curfew, all persons within its boundaries should remain within their premises unless given permission by the ground commander to leave. In news overseas, U.S. President Donald Trump says Mexico will not be required to pay tariffs on goods that come under the trade pact between the two countries and Canada until April 2. Trump has not confirmed if the suspension also applies to Canada, but Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick said he was hopeful the reprieve would apply to both of America's neighbors. The latest move is the second climb down in 2 days from Trump on his tariffs. On Wednesday, he said he would spare car makers temporarily from 25% import taxes just a day after they came into effect. And finally, Nigerian lawmakers have suspended a senator for 6 months, a day after she submitted a petition alleging she had been sexually harassed by the Senate president. Last Friday, the senator made the accusations against one of the country's top politicians. After dismissing her petition on procedural grounds, the Ethics Committee recommended the senator's suspension, saying she had brought ridicule to the chamber. BBC reports that some of her colleagues argued that her suspension be cut to 3 months, but a majority voted to stick with the 6-month suspension recommended by the Ethics Committee.
You know, so me I talk about this thing Barnett Street there, and some serious things going on that jail there in Rasta. And we are talking about evil, how them, the amount of Rasta locks will get cut off in the jail there. The amount of Rasta will get beaten, drawn, get type and back a jeep and drag go down a Barnett Street, go down there so. It's not easy, man. And Buster Mante, on national hero, snap up 2 guns on him side and go down there go say, if Barnett Street can't hold them, Bogie will go hold them. Dead or alive, he might deal with it, you know. It's a terrible thing. Remember, I don't know why I bring up these things, though, you know. It's a Mario Dean thing, me I bring it up, you know. Remember when the Woolipa, when them call it now, political madness that go on, you know. With a walk go down Fosdick Road and 2 man, we see 2 man I walk towards me with machete. And one of them said, Dread, you can't walk go down there, so you know, bro, you have to go turn back. Me say, okay, me just turn back. Turn back. You see when we walk go down the Barnett Street, them hear a man a ball, you know. A man a ball. And when me look, the man a go down at the station and me have seen, it's where my name hand there. Him wrap up a hand in a one piece of cloth and go in a Barnett Street station and put the hand on the table and say, and him start to bawl and say, look what them doing, my son, look what them doing, my son. The policeman, them jump and I say, away you the man, move from here with that, move from here with that. And the hand him have in a wrap up where them, the man, it look like the said man, them will stop me too. Said man, them will stop me for go down Fosdick Road, I say, Dread, you can't walk along there, you know. Them did go out with some terrible things. Terrible things. That day wasn't drugs, it wasn't drug thing them days, it was politics. Politics that run the madness. And now we see them gear up again to make this thing a start again. PNP and GLP. You know, ready for God confuse the people them again. If you listen to the radio station, them you can't hear the two of them, especially with the one about the Portmore being the next parish. Them at it, terrible.
Muta.
Yes.
Yeah, man. Yeah, say boy, yeah, wonder why you talk about this thing and you mentioned say the Mario Dean thing make you talk about it with the whole Barnett Street incident. But we just start Lent yesterday. So we are come up back to the Bad Friday anniversary period.
Yes.
So you're right in at the time, you know, if we talk about it again.
Why Shane, me love you more than Jesus love little children. Shane, I tell me say, at the right time you talk about it because we are come up to the Bad Friday when they did massacre and jail and beat and cut off Rasta locks. Same time, them call it Bad Friday. We call it Bad Friday. Them talk about Good Friday. And it starts from Holy Thursday. It starts from Holy Thursday. The devastation and the madness of going against Rasta happened during that so-called Easter time when them literally crucify Rasta. That Rasta will never live a man thing will be. All in a Kingston, St. Thomas. Rasta man have to hide in a bush. Some man cut off him locks because him know, I don't want to tell you, no. You see if I have all beard, if you want a man thing will be I have a beard, them check your Rasta, you better cut that off. So it's the right time for true, right time. And Mario Dean still not see the justice where it's necessary. Some company will say thief the people them more than anything else, rob the people them, I should have said, more than anything else. And I have family, sir. The Water Commission. Yes, Water Commission. One of the thiefest company them in Jamaica. And we have panelists, the extortionists them. The extortionists them. We just say people and just decide say they want to take away them hard earned money when them set up them business and go extort them. We have panelists here. The bank them seem to care monitor people account in a way where so much of these schemes don't come true and make poor people a ball, and even people who have money in there like Usain Bolt a ball. So the bank them need to tighten them things together. And then you have the telecommunication company them. Because we have now, them lack of, you have no internet, you know, for all that DR2. And you see when it come back, them won't even say, make them give you a blight in your, the amount of money we usually pay. If you say, all right, since we lock me off for 2 days, we will give him a day. Them still charge the same, like say they use it. Big thief them. Big thief. And then you have now GPS. GPS almost top the list. GPS, same thing with them. Them lock off your current and them a do some work. And them not really say, well, we lock off them things for a day, you know. I could take out half day pay, half day money out of them receipt. Them just take the same amount of money. And I still can't understand how come when you're not there in your yard, your light bill come up to the same thing if you don't know the light them not turn on. I don't understand that. Don't think people usually left on when them left their yard at them fridge. Them fridge. And when you come back, your light bill still at the same place. And some serious robbery with aggravation. Aggravation because when you see it, you get aggravated. And then we have the politician them. The politician them top the list. Because the politician them cause more pain. And even worse than the extortionists them. Because more time the extortionists them are target people who have business. The government no longer target who have business, but who not even work. Yes. And especially like how we say, this election has come up here now. And now you're going to say, madness. Pure madness you're going to say. And when them say September election, yeah. The people, they must check a stock and look on them situation 5 years ago and look on it now and say, am I better off now than 5 years ago? And then you have to look on the man who live beside you. Look on the man who look like you. Who are run up and down behind the politician, them car and van, and I go check them in them office and them thing and tell me if the man who in your community who do these things like you, if him better off than you, more than likely he is in the same boat like you. And that is really what we have to get to the people them say, look here man, when politicians not in the house, you know, them in a one another house. A drink liquor and a ha ha ha. Yes, and I play all Vibes Cartel too. Yeah, man. I see you know. All you hear them a go on this and a go on that. Them have them little party, them put on Vibes Cartel. Some of them know the words. Some of them know the words of Vibes Cartel music, you know, but oh gosh, man, them have a grand ball and fun. And then next day them go back to them madness of trying to say how much them can scrape out of the people them pocket. And how them a cut all of the people them pocket. For enrich themselves. For them and them picnic come own Jamaica. Like the white people them who did come here. And see the people them and take away the land from the people them. Like the white people them will go to America. And see the native them and take away the land from them and now I call them alien in a them own land. When I run them, did I run from for them country, I look better and end up in our next man country and thief the land like anywhere them go. So we have marked them company there, you know, JPS, the Water Commission. Yes, a big, the bank them. You open an account and them now give you no interest. And when you look, them a draw out money for all sort of thing. If you go at the ATM machine, them draw out money for that. Even if you look on how much money, if you look at how much money you have in the account, when you take a sack, them take out some money because you look at it. It's a jackass at the world level. We have an interview to do right now, and a very, very important interview to me personally. The lady's name is Claudette Anderson, PhD. And it says here she's executive director and professor of Obia at the Unuche Foundation and Afro-Atlantic Religious Reparations non-profit. She received her PhD in interdisciplinary studies in cognitive ethnomedicine and religion from Emory University. And the list goes on and on and on. But if we start to say the whole of them, we're going to shorten up the interview and we have so much things to talk about with her. I hope she's on the line. She's on the line?
I'm here, Muta.
Yes. Good afternoon, Miss Anderson. Good afternoon.
A pleasant good afternoon to you.
I hear that there's a next person, Mr. Bold. Is there a next person?
Is he here?
Oh, they said they never get him. Okay. All right.
Yeah, I sent your producer the number again. He's been waiting.
Oh, yes?
He's been waiting for the call. Yes.
Okay. Oh, you sent the producer. Okay, all right. She will figure it out. All right.
Okay.
I heard, I was very interested in this Grow Nation thing that kept at the Institute. The Institute.
Institute, yes.
Yeah, where you had two brethren, continental African speaking, or one continental African speaking. I think the other one is from America, I'm not sure. But they was talking about the idea of Obia. And in the Yoruba tradition in Nigeria. And I found it very interesting because, as you know...
Igbo tradition, not Yoruba.
Igbo tradition, yes. Mm-hmm. And as you know, in Jamaica, this part of our culture is demonized. And it comes from a long time from Europeans come here and experience what it is all about. Them demonize it like every other thing. So I wanted you to really explain to people them who listen to this program is very normal and is very interested but also very alienated because of previous mindset towards what Obia is. So I could start by asking, what is Obia? Hello?
If we're talking about continental African ancestors, Obia is not a what, generally speaking. My groundation is the Igbo culture. So we're going to talk, I'm talking from the Igbo point of view.
Okay.
All right? So Obia is first and foremost a person, a healer, a medicine man, what people call shaman.
Yes.
In
Bush doctor.
Bush doctor. No. Obia comes from the word dibia. Dibia. Dibia means an expert in wisdom and knowledge. They say you're a dibia, like you say you're a doctor. No, the obia is the dibia who travels to do healing work. So like the Doctors Without Borders.
Yes.
That's the obia. So you have a dibia tradition, both male and female. As a matter of fact, it's very inclusive. The first dibia is conceived of as a woman, not a man. Right? So this is why in Jamaica, women, let's say we say the women heal and the men kill when it comes to modern definitions. But if we're talking about continental Igbos, a dibia is a healer. An obia is a person, a traveling healer. Now, there are a lot of nuances to West Central African language. Each word has basic four meanings, for slightly different intonations. And so the other thing I want the people to know is when we say you're a traveling dibia, the word bia means to come. Now, again, we're talking about our intelligent, wise ancestors who know that if you land somewhere, you must have come from somewhere else. Not so?
Yes.
So when we say to come, implicitly it also means to go. So the O, right, is this article that references he, she, or it. So you have that O or that zero, which is infinity. And that defines everything because you're either male or female or non-human. So if you're going to say the what of Obia, it would be the it, right, which we could reference. That making sense to you? So,
I understand what you're saying, you know. I'm understanding what it's not to me, though. It's to the people who's listening.
Okay. So you kidnapped me from the coast of Calabar. You took me from Calabar and I come over here, and under these horrible circumstances of being raped and beaten and enslaved, I start calling. Right? What am I going to say? I'm going to say Bia. So this is linked to the legend of the flying Africans and the song that has come down to us from the Gulagiji, which is Kumbaya, which is actually They're calling on
Kumbaya.
Yeah. Come and save us. Come and help us. And this is a story that we have heard in Jamaica and in all of the black diaspora, quote unquote, where there were Africans who flew back and forth. So Obia, if we're going to come to modern day now and talk simply, Obia is a healing mission. All of these healers, these mediums, these people with the wisdom and knowledge of how to fly like Superman. The Dibia is the original Superman, the original Invisible Man. All of these quote-unquote esoteric aspects of human life were experienced because of the unprecedented horror of the European slave trade. And so this word becomes demonized because it is anti-slavery. If my child is calling me and I'm in Africa and I'm here and I fly over here, then this is the notion of Jamaica having the most rebellions in the English-speaking world, that we never stopped fighting because we always had people coming to help. We always had these dibias and whatever the word is in the other African traditions, right? Okomfo for Ghana, right? The Babalawo for the Yoruba, that they were always coming and helping with these rebellions. And so Jamaicans should know that for 100 and odd years, our ancestors were living in this horror, but they were able to manage because we had our spiritualists coming over to help us navigate the playing field. It was not until the Taki Rebellion, which was almost successful. Let me stop here. Let me back up. The Maroon Treaties, right, separated the Africans in Jamaica. And so the Maroons were up there and they were freer to practice, right? Plantations, the Africans enslaved on the plantation, they had less, bandwidth to move about in terms of their spirituality. So we know that with the signing of the treaties, the Maroons became the British police. The Maroons were the first police force on the island, right? And the Taki Rebellion, we know that it was an Obeah. This is how the word has come down when we merge it with
what them saying was a Obeah.
Right. Instead of just saying Obeah, you say Obeah man, right? When we merge with the English. And so it's not so much that Taki was an Obeah man, but that Taki had a spiritual advisor who was an Obeah man, right? And so when the rebellion failed and they questioned they weren't rebels, our freedom fighters, they discovered that it was the work of an Obeah practitioner, an Obeah man, and that's when they outlawed it. They thought it was stupid, it was foolish before these stupid Africans paid it no mind until they were told that the rebellions were being engineered by Obeah practitioners. This is the word we're going to use now in the modern era. And so subsequent to this, the Maroons are free to practice their Obeah. So I want people to understand that from the European point of view, they respected this thing enough that the Maroons could practice, and that's what the Maroons used to capture Taki and to stop the rebellion, and they boast about it, right? That is Maroon Obeah, right? So when people in Jamaica, 21st century Jamaica, sit down and hearing all of these things, they need to understand that intrinsically, this is simply a people's way of life, a people's way of fighting.
Yes.
But Africans, as primal people, we have access to some forces in some ways that some other people don't have access to, right? And we were able to employ them in the service of freedom. And it is only because of the Taki Rebellion and the near success that we would have been able to take over the entire island, that African religion practice they began to take it seriously and therefore outlawed it.
All right. So I could ask, when something that you say that the Africans used to fly from Africa, come to Jamaica?
And elsewhere, yes. And fly back, yeah.
We're going to find that hard to believe, though.
Yeah, because, European viewpoint. So let me ask you something.
So how come they're not doing it now?
Because it is said there is too much negative energy. The enslavement, the mass enslavement of primal peoples and the mass genocide of primal peoples created a state of affairs on the earth, unbalanced state. There's so much negative energy around now. And this is what the DBO will tell you, that, and also I can pre-state, we don't fly anymore because there's just too much negativity out there and too much interference.
So what we do now? What we do now instead of flying?
Well, to the extent that these are practitioners of esoteric knowledge, there's telecommunication. So the first cell phone was the Obeah. The first invisible man was the Obeah. First Superman was the Obeah. You do telepathic communication. You can astral travel instead of physically flying, right? You can do astral traveling, but that too people don't engage with anymore because there's just too much negative energy out there. The cell towers are killing bees, right? So that's how terrible it is for us in this time. All of this technology that we have is at the cost of the planet or home that we live on.
All right.
Right?
I want to, all right. Can no group of people out there think like me? I am almost like a call for a better word, a Thomas. I am saying no. Eh?
Yeah, man, it is.
Know what you say?
I said doubting is a good thing. It leads
of
to
course,
truth.
doubt is a good thing because I don't know where I can explore it. All right.
Mm-hmm.
At what period of African history during slavery these flying was taking place? And how come is it that if that was happening, how come some of shall we reach over here? Where was the Obeah man at the time? Well, we will never have no cell phone and all this thing, but was actually practicing it. Where was the Obeah man to prevent or stop this atrocity against African people?
All right. You got to take the cosmic view now. All right? Work with me.
I'm going to try.
Mm-hmm. Where were the Israeli soldiers when Hamas entered Israel and stole those people?
The Israeli soldier was right there.
Mm-hmm.
But them never do nothing about it.
Mm-hmm.
So the Hamas people, them come in upon them, what them call it, something with them jetting pan, flying pan. Them never actually fly through them was Obeah people.
Mm-hmm.
If people really start to say that now, that going to make the thing get away now. Them come in the air pan, with them call them something there with them jetting pan, them jetting. Anyway, what you suggest? What you suggesting?
No, the point I was making, right, was that people still got kidnapped, even though there were military present.
Yes, of course. So what you saying caused that?
Right. So we tend to forget, right? Right. So this is what the Europeans have done to us. We're now black. Before we were black, we were Igbo, we were Yoruba, right? We were different ethnic groups. And so the infiltration of Africa, West Central Africa, right, occurred. These people just come in like normal. It's the same thing they did to the Native Americans.
But we know them coming there. We know them coming there.
And they're hospitable. But guess what happened now? Bling, bling. Dibias, Babalawas, Okomfos, don't take their things. Same thing the priest told the Native Americans. Do not take their things. So it reached a point now where bling bling disrupt the society. People were being feted by the king of England back in the day, while our ancestors were being beaten. So it's not that the Dibias couldn't stop it. There are two reasons I'm giving you here. The first one is this: I'm talking about infiltration and the bling bling, and a group's inability, right, to stop people who are sovereign from negotiating their own lives. So you have two people, them come first, the white man come first, them up on the shore, them not set foot. see them and go down there, oh, we need so and so. As a matter of fact, I think it was the king of Benin, don't quote me, who actually said, you know, they thought these people were honorable. They didn't understand chattel slavery because they had a there. No.
But
so
how you connect that to the Israeli, the Hamas invasion by Israel? How you connect that to it?
That you could still have a mighty, mighty nation with arms and it still be invaded.
Yeah, well, we know that because even like this, as you say, if in these days, David would still kill Goliath. But what I'm saying is that you're talking about people flying in that time and yet still having all of these powers but still get enslaved.
Yes, so work with me now. Just work with me. Work with me. It's a cosmic view. This is why I'm bringing in the Native Americans. I am saying that you live in a society. Well, it wasn't. We didn't call it a society then, but we have these groups of indigenous people living in harmony, and people are sovereign. So the first two people who came, right, and they said yes, we have some people we can give you. The king of Benin, when the thing got out of hand, he said, you know what, we don't like this idea of you taking away our people. Why don't you have the plantations here? What I'm trying to negotiate with you and help you to understand is that the first encounters, they're not antagonistic. When we sit here now and say, oh, them could have do that, right?
Yeah.
It's not an antagonistic thing. You think you're dealing with a reasonable person.
Yeah, but after you realize that it's not reasonable. That's what I'm talking about, you know. When ships start to come and people start to say them people get to go away, and then the Africans them not seeing themselves as African but different nations like Igbo, Yoruba, and if them at war with them, they might take those two over there as prisoners and set them on the ship. So I'm saying now, where was these flying Africans, these Obeah men who was flying to help the Africans them in this part of the world? Because you said them come here. What did they come here for? Fly to Jamaica for?
Before stopping it over there. That's what you're saying.
Before stopping it over there, but not long stopping it over there, but freeing the people then before it reached 500 years of slavery.
No. Yeah, because people are sovereign, and you're not thinking in terms of black.
No, we're not talking about black. We're talking about, all right, if a whole heap of people from Yoruba.
You know that there are people who volunteered to come over here? People volunteered to come, thinking they were coming into a good situation.
Yeah, no, I'm not talking about the volunteer now. I'm talking about when you see the situation. Why the people them fly come over here? That's what I'm talking about, The people them fly come over here for what?
To help.
Why them fly?
To help, because they were being called by the people
to help
who were
slavery. And take 500 years for them help, and we're still in the same problem.
No. It's not take 500 years.
Well, it's 500 years now to go on for.
If the Obeah man, if the African spiritualists weren't helping, we would all be dead.
But we're all dead, you know.
Yes. In a different way. But Muta, I'm trying to make a point that at a certain level, at the cosmic view, if people are sovereign, right, and you tell them don't do the something, and them do it. You tell them don't do it. If you do this is what is going to happen to us. And the people say, no, we like this. You ever see them dress up in the British clothes? Them say,
Mama, we're not talking about British clothes. No, we're talking about the people them who come over here to help.
Muta,
the flying matter. The flying, if you know this, the flying, we have a problem with, We have a problem with this flying thing. Like Superman. We were the first Superman. Superman is a mythology. It's not even mythology. It's a man imagination, a white man imagination. If we start to say, you had Superman in Africa that can fly, come over here. How is it that them could fly, come over here, and we have millions of Africans in a slavery area, and nothing could have helped them with all this great esoteric knowledge and thing. It never stopped them, and we're still there for 500 years. That's my problem with that.
Muta.
Yes.
Muta.
Yes.
Listen to me. I'm talking about sovereignty and cosmic rule.
Yes.
In what accounts? Listen to this. I'm trying to get you to go back to a time where people never saw wicked. It's very hard.
All right,
to
back
imagine.
into Africa, when the white man never reached them. I could talk about this. So.
All right, but may I finish this point first? Let me finish the point. One of the stories written by the evil others, when they caught the Obia man and they're burning him, the Obia man said to him, "You can't kill me." Right? And he says, "Your Obia is stronger than mine." This is what they wrote in the book. We're going to accept and say, all right, it's true, them at all. All right, let us say that is true. What is the Obia man saying as a spiritualist, right? And the other meaning of the word Obia is this will. And so what the Obia man was saying to him is, okay, I am accepting that your will to murder and kill and be evil is greater than mine.
Yes.
But we don't have a heaven and we don't have a hell.
Yeah.
But so if we're talking about continental Africa, not how it is now after Christian, we don't have a heaven.
I am accepting what you're saying. Look here, I am not opposing what you're saying in relationship to that.
Okay.
You know. What I am having problem with is you telling me that in times before the white man them go there and black people realize that the white people them coming, we come over here. So what did we come over here to do? It would have to be to free the people them who end up over here so with the white man them. But we never see that happen. So these shamans from all these different nations in Africa having this flying power, and we don't see it. I don't see it.
Okay.
No, the excuse is that we're in a situation now where it's modern day, so that power of flying gone. I don't want to accept that. I don't accept that.
Oh no, I never said gone.
Or it gets it gone under. It gone under.
Yes, because of the energy.
But I don't see nobody in Africa can do that. I have been to the deepest part in Africa.
Muta, you expect something as esoteric as flying.
Yeah.
That you're going to mundanely see it every day?
No, not every day, but see it somewhere, not every day.
All right, so you haven't seen it, but you need to go to accounts of the supernatural. If I tell you that I see one last week, would you believe me?
I would have to accept what you say, but I don't necessarily have to believe you.
All right. So what I'm saying is this, right? That you're talking about metaphysics.
Yes.
You can't expect to have physical answers for metaphysical things.
That is not true. That is not true. That is not true. That is not true. Because the only way you know it is metaphysical is if you can decipher it physically. It's when you start to use your intelligence physically, you realize that this thing is metaphysical and that is not metaphysical. So to say that you can't decipher it, I don't know how you know say metaphysical if you can't decipher it.
All right. So maybe decipher is the wrong word. But you want metaphysical things to operate in the same way as physical things. Maybe that's a better
No. I have been to voodoo. Eh? Oh, sorry. All right. I don't want to go there. Oh, that's over there. Sorry about that. We have a connection here to do. We're going to come forward. Just give me a moment here. Yes. The MSME. Sorry about that. We can find it here. Wow. So the conversation gets so
Yeah, the reason I don't want to, the reason I'm not answering is I need you to bring SMO because I don't want to speak on it.
Why you don't want to speak on it? You're professing, you're professing it, so why you don't want to speak on it?
Yeah, but he can explain it a little better, I believe.
No, but if you're professing, you're supposed to can't explain it, or you come to the belief.
But you know, I can't get you to go back to the sphere.
I am going back as far as you tell me send me to. That is what I did. I go back as far as you send me to. You know, I look into the paper here, but I have been to voodoo ceremonies, Yoruba ceremonies, Igbo ceremonies, and I go to Christian ceremonies, you know, Roman Catholic ceremonies. And up to now, I don't see nobody where I fly if I go save nobody. Them going a plane. And every time I say it used to happen, you have to give me evidence of it because the evidence of it is not shown in the liberation of African people. All these things that we hear African people can do. And them still in the same problem. I don't understand that. That is where we get the turn to Thomas.
All right. Listen to me now. I'm coming back to the cosmic level.
I'm trying to find this paper, you know. I don't want to start again, you know, because I have to go to this link. Okay. Look like she gone. She gone, Shane?
I'm here. You're not hearing me?
Oh, you're here. Okay, I just hear, you know. Yeah, you know, say, we have to go to this interview and next time I can get a longer time.
Muta.
Yes.
Yeah, but I came to talk about the event on the 20th and you jumped me with Obio and you're gone to the flying side and I don't even get to talk about what I prepared for. I thought we were coming here to discuss the launch of the calendar.
What, to talk about what?
The calendar.
Oh, I never talking about the calendar. We just mentioned the calendar and talking whenever who was talking, who wanted to talk about Obia, that's what I tell you who was going to talk about.
Oh, we had a misunderstanding then.
But if you tell about the calendar, you still have time, you can tell about the calendar.
Okay. So, Igbo Cal plus Oge Igbo, which is a watch, which I told you about. We're launching an Igbo calendar on the 20th of March, which is the equinox. We're having an app. We'll have printed and a digital version as well as a watch. This is a knowledge reparation event, right? So what we're saying is that since our people came over here, there are all different types of calendars being used, but the calendars of our ancestors. People use Egyptian, people use Chinese, people use Ethiopian. Nobody's using a calendar from West Central Africa. Nobody's using a Taino or Mayan or Native American calendar. There is a similarity between the Mayan Taino calendar, which we know the Tainos were the natives on the island before Europeans invaded and then brought us. They have a 13 moon, 28-day calendar, and it's the same calendar that obtains in Igbo culture. So we're bringing out this calendar to make it accessible to people, the people who want to follow the natural rhythms of the ancestors who were here before now have an opportunity. They don't have to use the Gregorian, they don't have to use the Egyptian, which is what a lot of people use because of, this notion of Egyptian glory. But what our people, the blood, the DNA that runs through us, what our people use has not been accessible to us for a long time. And so we're making that available. It's going to be wonderful. There's going to be an app which people can use easily. We have in Igbo culture the 4 market days, which represent the 4 forces or the 4 elements, which correspond to all the 4s within our universe. So
not somewhere where you can buy it, where you can get it physical copy?
We'll have it on the website for people to order or download. Okay. And at the event, we'll be bringing calendars to the event, and we'll have a watch that we might raffle for people who come. But yeah, this is what I thought we were gonna talk about. This is what we prepared for.
Obia was going to talk about. Remind us of when the event is.
March 20th at the Institute of Jamaica, 9 to 2.
9 o'clock to 2 o'clock. Yeah, okay.
At the Institute of Jamaica, yes.
Okay. Yeah. Don't feel no way because I mentioned we was going to talk about Obia. That's what I said we was going to talk about.
Oh, no, you caught me off guard there because...
No, I never catch you off guard, man. We was talking, we was going to talk about Obia and then you're going to tell me about the event that is going to take place. That is what we mentioned. Anyway,
okay.
Thanks still for come. And I hope we can speak again. Maybe we can talk before the event.
Yeah, intelligently. Yeah, let us. Because
you mean intelligently? What you mean intelligently?
Yeah, man. Because Muta, we can't get to go back to one and forget the cosmic view. It's difficult to explain Obia to people.
No, it can be explained, man. It can be explained.
No.
Look here.
All right. Muta, if I say to you there are 4 types of dibias, that makes sense to you? The people.
No, if you explain it, it will make sense to me. If you explain it, it will make sense. But if you don't say that, so...
The dibia who the herbal... Right now, all of the herbalists them in Jamaica, Obia man and Obia woman, they're not going to accept that term. In continental Africa, all right,
no, we can't go back to the conversation now, though, because we have to go. We have to go. And I just want you to know that... All right, we have to go, though. We have to go. Give thanks.
All right, love.
Give thanks.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So which probably they know? Melbourne. All right. We want to give away our next prize here. First person who answer the following question correctly win entrance to the 5K and them get an entrance to the 5K and a pure water basket. The numbers are 9745051. 9745079, 9745079, 9745043, 618-0352. And the question is, where does the Melbourne 5K run walk start? Which part it going to start? Easy answer that. Which part it going to start? In the meantime, in between time, we're just going and play this. So we're going to give you the female names first. Nafisa. 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 Means precious. That should have been Nafisa, you know. Yeah, Nafisa. Precious. Naima. 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 Naima means graceful. Graceful. Nana. Mother of the earth. Mother of the earth. Ngozi. Ngozi. Ngozi means blessing. So that's Nafisa, Nafisa means precious. Naima, Naima means grateful. Nana, Nana means mother of the earth. And Ngozi, Ngozi means blessing. Male name. Nwadi, Nwadi. 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 Nwadi means a valuable child exists. A valuable child exists. Ofon. Ofon. O-F-O-N. Ofon. Ofon means blessed one. Blessed one. Adoa. Adoa. O-D-U-O-H-A. Odoa. Means the leader of the people. Okolo. Okolo. O-K-O-L-O. Okolo means friendly. So that's male names. Male names. Nwadi, N-W-A-D-I. Available child exists. A valuable child exists. Ofon, O-F-O-N means blessed one. Odoa. Odoa. O-D-U-O-H-A. Odoa. Leader of the people. And Okolo, O-K-O-L-O, Okolo means friendly.
Now, the details. The Ministry of Finance and the Public Service says there is a provision in the 2025-26 budget for wage increases for public servants. However, this amount cannot be disclosed as yet. Portfolio Minister Favour Williams made the statement during today's Standing Finance Committee meeting. She was responding to questions from opposition member Dr. Morris Guy. In the past week, several public sector groups, including the Jamaica Teachers Association and the Association of Government Medical Consultants, have been restive over outstanding retroactive payments. Highlighting this, Dr. Guy pressed for a dollar figure in relation to the allocation made in the $1.3 trillion national budget for wage increases. However, the finance minister said she was unable to provide this information.
There is a provision in this budget.
There is?
Right, there is a provision.
And can you say what that provision is?
Member, we're not able to spell out what those assumptions are.
But Minister, it's not an assumption. It's a provision.
A provision, well, yeah, but an assumption had to go into that, right? There is a provision in the budget, and in order to get to that provision, you have to make some assumptions. We will not get to the actual until we're sitting across the negotiating table.
So there are no provisions, but those might be reflected in a supplementary, Minister.
In the current budget as presented in the Parliament today, there are contingencies, amounts in the budget to reflect what the government's position is. Again, the actual will depend on the negotiation.
Meantime, Mrs. Williams stated that talks have begun with some bargaining unions.
The Ministry of Finance and the Public Service asked the various unions to send in their claims. We have received some, but not all. Nevertheless, we have started meetings with the various unions to ask any questions, to clarify matters, and so that work has started.
Finance Minister Favour Williams. Parliamentarian Everett Warmington has maintained that he will not support another budgetary allocation for the Integrity Commission, IC, unless an audit is done on the agency. Mr. Warmington first made the statement last October while raising questions about how funds allocated to the Anti-Corruption Agency are spent. Speaking during Parliament's Standing Finance Committee today, Mr. Warmington noted that an additional $164 million is being allocated to the IC in the 2025-26 budget. He said his demand for an audit still stands and he will not support any more funding of the Commission.
What I demand is a full compliance value for money audit of the Integrity Commission to audit and examine its management and administrative control, security controls and information technology control, external and internal control, human resources practices, policies and procedures, and oversight procedure of the Integrity Commission. A financial statement audit and a value for money audit differ in their objective, focus, and approach. This is completely different from financial statement. I see that this year the amount to the Integrity Commission is increased by $164 million, but yet I have not seen any auditing of that department or a financial report from this department. This year they're getting almost $2 billion, and that's taxpayer money, and there must be accountability. Just as it is required that these reports be laid in the House. They mentioned that in their report they have financial what have you. What they have, there was just financial statement, and that's not what is required. And I stated then that they cannot support any more funds being made available to this commission without some accountability, and I'm maintaining my position today.
In response, Finance Minister Favour Williams said she would make checks about the audit.
So, member, my understanding is that the IC committee, it's through the IC committee that those matters are addressed. At this moment, I do not have the information about where they are in terms of their financial audit. This is something I could inquire into, but again, my understanding is that those matters would go through the IC committee for them to interrogate and address.
Are you saying that it is being done? You say going through the committee, but what I want to know, is it being done? Preparation of this audit report to be laid in this house.
Okay, what we do know is that an audit was being pursued, and what we do know is that there have been allocations in budgets to provide for financial management and accounting services. As to exactly where that audit is, that is not information that I have at this moment.
Finance Minister Favour Williams responding to Standing Finance Committee member Everald Warmington. $10 billion will be allocated to the National Water Commission, NWC, in the upcoming 2025-26 fiscal year to support the implementation of key public investment projects. Portfolio Minister Matthew Samuda made the announcement during Parliament's Standing Finance Committee meeting today. Among the projects to receive funding is the Greater Mandeville Water Supply Improvement Program.
Key activities being increased in this upcoming 2025-2026 budget include support to public bodies, which will see an allocation of some Jamaican $10 billion to the National Water Commission. This will facilitate the implementation of public investment projects such as the Great Mandeville Water Supply Improvement Program, the major potable water transmission main improvement, as well as major water treatment plant rehabilitation and upgrading.
Additionally, Mr. Samuda revealed that $4.57 billion will be earmarked for the restoration and maintenance of vital corridors and gullies.
Additionally, an allocation of $4.57 billion has been provided to treat with restoration and maintenance of major corridors and gullies, including the NMIA roundabout to Mountain View Avenue, Papine to Halfway Tree, 6 miles to Darling Street, and Sandy Gully, North Gully, and South Gully.
Minister Matthew Samuda. The Tourism Ministry is seeking to regularize another river close to the White River in Ocherre, Sandan. Portfolio Minister Edmund Bartlett made the disclosure during today's meeting of the Standing Finance Committee. He was responding to questions posed by Opposition Member Fitzjackson about measures being taken to allow rafters at the White River, who have been displaced since last month, to resume their operations. As of February 13, illegal rafters have been prohibited from operating at the river, noting that the river was attracting a population which he described as unhealthy. Mr. Bartlett said the security forces had to intervene. He explained that a clear hold and reset system has been established.
The clearing means to take control of the space early in the process so that the stakeholders are engaged by involving them in planning and decision making, and those discussions have been had. The TPD team has been there. We've been talking with the local stakeholders for them to buy in to the way in which the asset has to be treated in order for it to be sustainable. The second is to hold, and that is to conduct now additional research to assess the feasibility of regularizing the unmanaged space. That is to say, those people who are illegal, we can get them to become legal. In other words, to train them and for them to understand what their responsibilities are, and for also to be equipped to provide the 3 S's we want: safe, secure, and seamless operation. And finally, to reset. Regulate through collaboration with the Jamaica Constable Air Force and other relevant partners the resetting of the whole arrangement. Full training, full upskilling, and the enablement through business development guidance.
Mr. Bartlett said the next step is re-engagement. He added that a nearby river is being looked at for regularization. Having been in the reset phase now, we're ready for re-engagement. And I'm pleased to advise that the focus on the local players. In addition to that, we have increased the number of activities around that area. And we are looking at regularizing another river close by so as to enable, there is another river that is now being looked at for regularization, near enough to enable others. Yes. Tourism Minister Ed Bartlett. Mayor of St. Anne's Bay, Michael Belnavis, says efforts are being made to have the bathrooms at the Ocherre Market fixed. The bathroom facilities, which were refurbished at a cost of $10 million and opened last September, are out of service. The mayor told IRFM News that some of the toilets are broken, and as such there is a leakage at the facility. He said this has resulted in a $6 million bill from the National Water Commission.
It is our understanding that there's been some significant leaks and a new bathroom that was installed several months ago. in the toilet area. And so they've been having issues with the stone valves, and I guess people have been handling them roughly. So the valves have been broken continuously, leading up to a $6 million water commission bill. So they've had to resort to a manual connect, disconnect type of thing.
Mr. Belnavis said the issue should be resolved soon.
There is, in fact, water at the market. But there are issues within the toilet which they are trying to resolve right now. They have this specialist coming in to work with those stone valves to see how it is that we can get them resolved. But I believe they have been mishandled and it's a big issue right now within the bathrooms at the butcher's market.
Mayor of St. Anne's Bay, Michael Belnavis. The election campaign financing campaign period for the next general election commences tomorrow, March 7. The general election is due by September 3. The Electoral Commission of Jamaica explains that during the campaign period, individuals, companies and other entities, as well as the Jamaican diaspora, may make contributions to political parties or candidates toward financing their election campaigning. Markelia Rumble reports.
As the campaign period approaches, contributors are being reminded of their responsibility to declare contributions to political parties and candidates. Contributions to each candidate must not exceed $1.5 million, and those to political parties must not exceed $31.5 million, to include contributions made to individual candidates of a political party. Contributors are required to declare donations at or above $250,000 to a political party or candidate. Multiple contributions to a political party or candidate, which in the aggregate amounts to $250,000 or more, must be declared even if any of the sums contributed are less than $250,000. Contributors must also declare within 14 days of making a donation any award or government contracts at or above $500,000 in existence for up to 2 years prior to making the contribution. Additionally, any award of government contracts at or above $500,000 received within 2 years of contributing must be declared by the contributor within 14 days of receiving such a contract. Under the Representation of the People Act 2016, the campaign period begins the day immediately following the last day of the period of 54 months from the commencement of the term of office of the government. It ends 24 hours before the time fixed for the opening of the polls. Any person who knowingly makes a false statement in any report, declaration, or other document required to be filed within the Commission commits an offence and shall be liable on conviction in a resident magistrate's court to a fine not exceeding $3 million or in default of payment to a term of imprisonment not exceeding 12 months. Reporting for IRFM News, I am Markelia Rumble.
Education Minister Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon says the government will continue to take steps to improve Jamaica's special needs policy. She made the statement as she noted that Jamaica now has a new special needs policy. She said, among other things, the policy is designed to ensure early identification and intervention for students with special needs.
It involves years of research, consultation, and review. We love to talk. But finally, we do have a new special needs policy. And in terms of what's in there, it's grounded in access, equity, and relevance. It's designed to ensure early identification and intervention for students with special needs. And so the ECC has a mandate to focus a lot more on our early childhood institutions and identifying the special needs as early as we can. That's their mandate.
Dr. Morris-Dixon said the policy also speaks to strengthening teacher training to handle students with special needs.
So in terms of other things in the policy, it focuses on strengthening teacher training to equip educators with inclusive teaching skills, because we're going to need it. I told you the numbers are going up. You are going to have special needs children in your class. You're going to have children with ADHD in your class who are disrupting the class. And you need to understand how to treat with them, because some of them are very brilliant. When some people who come to me who are like big executives in organizations and they tell me they have ADHD. I'm like, wow, that's fantastic. They just need to be, the energy needs to be channeled. And so we have to work with our educators.
The minister, who was addressing students at the Shorewood Teachers College today, said she will continue to engage tertiary institutions to increase the number of careers related to special needs education.
I was looking at all of the schools, and the thing that I looked for the most was how many special education teachers were we graduating, and it wasn't enough. I didn't see enough. And so looking at the incentives around that is key. We've already said to UE, because the government funds the University of the West Indies, that we need you to focus on the areas of special needs. We need you to be putting out more speech therapists. We need more of them. We need more of the occupational therapists. So we've actually started a conversation with UE, saying to them that you have to be aligned with government policy. So who you're training and what you're training needs to be aligned with where we're going. And special needs is a priority. So you have to do that.
Education Minister Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon. The police have issued a high alert for a Haitian woman and her 10-month-old son who have gone missing since Sunday. Police have identified them as 30-year-old Amel Balance and her son Hollywood Simon, both of Rose Heights, Montego Bay, St. James. Miss Balance is of brown complexion, medium build, and about 152 centimeters or 5 feet tall. Reports from the Mount Salem police are that Balance and Hollywood were last seen at home about 10:15 p.m. on Sunday. Balance was dressed in a pink nightgown. Hollywood's mode of dress is not known. Efforts to contact them have proven futile. Anyone knowing the whereabouts of Amel Balance and Hollywood Simon is being asked to contact the Mount Salem police station at 1-876-952-3572, the 119 police emergency number, or the nearest police station. The St. Catherine North Police charged a man with larceny as a servant stemming from an incident at a business establishment in Spanish Town between August 2024 and January 2025. Charged is 21-year-old Takodor Beckford of Sligoville, St. Catherine. Reports are that Beckford allegedly used his security code to avoid customers' receipts and took for himself the monies that were to be paid to the various service providers. Further reports are that Beckford confessed when a concerned customer inquired about her bill payment not reflecting and her service got disconnected. Further investigations revealed that more than $3.371 million was misappropriated. Beckford was arrested and later charged following an interview. His court date is yet to be decided. Minister of Transport Darrell Vass has sought to assure that the state-run bus company JUTC is not competing with public passenger vehicle PPV operators. Taxi operators have raised concerns about the expansion of JUTC routes into rural parishes in recent months. Speaking at a press conference at the Halfway Tree Transport Centre Tuesday, Mr. Vass said the expansion of JUTC services aims to provide citizens with reliable and affordable transportation.
I wish to make it absolutely clear that the JUTC is not competing with PPV operators. The expansion of service is not intended to displace private operators in the public transport sector. The JUTC aims to provide professional, safe, reliable and affordable transportation, a standard by which public transportation will be defined. And I so urge private operators to continue to retool and improve on the quality of their service that they deliver to the commuters who deserve no less than a dignified means to commute.
Mr. Vaz added that the JUTC will expand services to new and premium routes soon. The first phase of the JUTC's route expansion was implemented last November, targeting Bernard Lodge in St. Catherine.
And our routes outside of the KMTR reflect the commitment of the government of Jamaica to provide safe, reliable and affordable transportation to new and expanding communities as well as to rural parishes. The JUTC is also seeking to expand services including Route 311 to Catherine Estates, Mandeville to Maypen, Montego Bay to Lucy and Negril, and that will happen out of the Montego Bay depot. These expansions are important to meet the growing demand for public transportation and improving connectivity across the island, especially with the infrastructure that this government is putting in terms of road networks.
Transport Minister Darrell Vaz. Minister of Gender Olivia Grange has announced the members of the Sexual Harassment Tribunal. Ms. Grange made the announcement at Tuesday's post-cabinet press briefing. She said the tribunal will be chaired by retired Court of Appeal Judge Ferdinand Algernon Smith. The gender minister noted that the tribunal is established under the Sexual Harassment Protection and Prevention Act to hear and determine complaints and to make awards.
The executive membership, Mr. Ferdinand Algernon Smith, retired Court of Appeal Judge, and he's the chairperson. Ms. Indira Persad, Attorney at Law, Deputy Chair, and Mrs. Karen Campbell-Basco, Attorney at Law, also Deputy Chair. The additional members, Kadria Folks, Ms. Kadria Folks, Attorney at Law, Mrs. Debian Brown-Salmon, Attorney at Law, Ms. Camille Lee, JP Supreme Court Mediator, Ms. Karen Thompson-Wilson, Senior Legal Officer, Jane Group, and Attorney at Law, and she's Mediator, Ms. Claire Pamela Miller, Supreme Court and Parish Court Mediator, Mr. Kevin A. Campbell, Supreme Court Mediator, Mr. Donald Roberts, CD, JP Industrial Relations Consultant, Ms. Shanique Rose Clacken, Corporate Service Manager, Assistant Company Secretary, Wigton with Wyndham Farm, and Attorney at Law. Mr. Junior A. Latibadair, Senior Industrial Relations Officer, Jamaica Civil Service Association. Dr. Merrick Dale Walker, JP, President, East Jamaica Conference of Seventh-day Adventists. And Reverend Dr. Devin Merrick Dick, Pastor, Boulevard Baptist Church.
Gender Minister Olivia Grange.